Hello, and welcome to Family University's webinar, Making Your Voices Heard, How Families Play a Meaningful Role in School Budget Decisions. I am Demetria Singleton, one of Baltimore City Public Schools' Family and Community Engagement Specialists, and I will be your presenter for this session. Here's our agenda. What drives our work for family engagement? We'll review our mission and theory of action in a framework called the Dual Capacity Building Framework for Family School Partnerships. Then we'll spend the rest of our time talking about engaging all families in the budget process. I would like to begin by sharing what drives our work in the Family Engagement Office. We have a call to action, and that's to work collaboratively with you, our families, to ensure that you are equipped with the knowledge, tools, and networks to become stronger partners in the education of your children. It means that we work hard to improve your experiences at the district and school level. Through our actions and supports, we want you to know that we believe in you and care about all of our families. And lastly, we are committed to providing access points to get you the information you need to stay informed and get the resources you need to support your children's success. Our mission is clear and our theory of action is simple. We know that if we work closely with our families in real and meaningful ways, and we're working together to lift your voices around decision making and advocacy, and aligning that to the academic priorities for our children, then we will have true engagement that is linked to student success. The work we do in the Family Engagement Office is also driven by our goal of helping schools and families build strong partnerships that support student and school improvement. We anchor our work in what's called the Dual Capacity Building Framework for Family School Partnerships. It was created by Dr. Karen Mapp in partnership with experts, parent leaders, and educators. Dr. Mapp is a senior lecturer in the Harvard Graduate School of Education and is one of our nation's leading researchers in the field of family engagement. For more than 20 years, Dr. Mapp's research and practice focus has been on cultivating partnerships among families, community members, and educators that support student achievement and school improvement. It's called the dual capacity because it builds the capacity of two groups. First, you have to build the capacity of the adults in the school building. You have to help adults in the school know the best practices for building partnerships, and then the adults in the school can help build the capacity of the adults in the home to take the actions that make a difference to student learning. This model is really important because it addresses the challenges that schools have had trying to build partnerships with families, and it lays out the goals and conditions necessary to create a path toward effective family engagement efforts that are linked to student achievement and school improvement. The dual capacity building framework identifies the conditions that must be in place to create effective partnerships that give families a voice in areas such as school policy and program goals. Participating in your child's school's budget process is an example of families and schools working together to support student and school improvement. If you want to learn more about the dual capacity building framework for family school partnerships, visit www.dualcapacity.org. That's www.dualcapacity.org. Before we talk about some of the goals and outcomes of your participation in the budget process, I want to share why your engagement is important not only to our school district, your engagement is also important to the futures of our young people. The research is clear on this. When schools build authentic partnerships with families and engage families as co creators and real partners, this can aid in the success of our schools and students' lives for years to come. There is a real impact when families are aware, informed, and knowledgeable about their rights and responsibilities. Our schools see improvements in teacher retention and leadership. Schools are able to develop targeted and higher quality learning opportunities for students, and teachers feel more connected and confident in their roles and can see how partnering with families helps to support student learning. The research also shows that our students benefit the most when the adults are on the same page. They earn higher grades and test scores, they have better behavior, and they have good attendance. Families are empowered to engage their school communities as true partners, co-creators, supporters, advocates, and champions for their children, staff, and educators. I want to point out why it is important for parents to be active in the decisions made at their child's school. Family involvement in planning and decision making is important because families know their child best. Parents, as decision makers, bring a different viewpoint. You are your child's first teacher. Families have the necessary qualities to be involved in the decision making areas such as choosing curriculum, developing the budget, and identifying school leaders who are a good fit with the school's climate. Parents have a stake in what their children learn, and they have a voice in deciding what is taught and how it is taught. Parents, as decision makers, are equal partners with teachers and school leaders, and when critical stakeholders partner, schools are stronger and more effective. And when families participate in decision making, planning or organizing, or policy development, they strengthen their leadership and advocacy skills. Their advocacy and leadership may be far reaching, shaping the development of children, programs, and schools for years to come. Now, let's look at some of the goals and outcomes you can expect when you participate in your child's school budget process. You will increase your knowledge of the budget process and learn how school leaders shape their financial decisions and their priorities for student achievement and school improvement. Participating in the budget process helps families understand the story behind the finances. This is one entry point into your school's decision making process, lifting up family voice by providing feedback and input on school priorities and goals. Your participation also positions you as a co creator and key partner in the school wide planning and budgeting. Budget season is an excellent opportunity for families to become more actively invested in the school community. All city schools must provide opportunities for families and the school's stakeholders to participate in the school budget process by hosting priority engagement sessions, community budget forums, and budget review meetings. The priority engagement sessions are designed to get the school community's input and feedback on the school's priorities for the upcoming school year. School leaders share the school's vision, mission, and goals. This is an opportunity to make sure you have a clear understanding of the school's priorities and initiatives and share your ideas about what the priorities of the school should be and what should be considered in the development of the school's budget. Parents and community members bring a different perspective from educators, which can lead to solutions that never would have surfaced otherwise. So be sure your voice and expertise are at the table. After school leaders gather feedback and input from their school stakeholders, school leaders create a draft budget that they plan to submit to the district. Schools then host another opportunity for families to engage in the budget process. These are the community budget forum meetings. During the community budget forums, School leaders share the draft budget for the next school year with the school community. School leaders will share how the funds were allocated and share the reasons for the decisions. This is an opportunity to also hear how your input and feedback on the school's priorities were considered in the decision-making process. The final set of meetings you should plan to attend around the budget process are the budget review meetings. These meetings are held after schools draft their final budgets, which will get submitted to City Schools CEO for final approval. School leaders review with their school community what was actually submitted for approval, as changes may have occurred based on district guidance. School leaders should share clarity around the final budget and address any changes or updates. Baltimore City Public Schools requires that each school maintain a School Family Council, or SFC for short. School family councils are decision-making bodies consisting of school faculty, staff, students, parents, and community members and partners. Some schools may have advisory councils, such as charter schools, which perform the same function as school family councils. School family councils come together throughout the school year to discuss and develop plans to improve student achievement, ensure quality programs, enrich family and community engagement, and help schools achieve their greatest potential. SFCs provide open forums for stakeholders to come together around a range of important school decisions and goals, such as developing the school's budget. It is the function of the school family councils to host the meetings we just talked about, the priority engagement sessions, the community budget forums, and the budget review meetings. School family councils also work with school leadership in developing and supporting the implementation of the school's performance plan and assist the Office of Human Capital with the principal selection process in case of a vacancy. Everybody has a role to play in the budget process. This is what you should expect during the budget season. Your school family council will work with your school's leadership to provide support to help get the word out to all stakeholders about engagement opportunities during the school budget process. School leaders should broadly promote the meetings and opportunities for feedback to ensure all stakeholders have safe, welcoming spaces to come together to participate in conversations about budget and school priorities. The communication should be open and frequent. Stakeholders should come to the meetings prepared to ask questions, share their ideas and thoughts, review data on school needs and priorities, and provide your input and feedback on the priorities and goals. City Schools sets a window for schools to hold their budget engagement meetings. Let's take a look at the timeline for this process so you'll know when you should expect your school's meetings to take place. Please note these dates may change based on directives from the Office of Finance. The priority engagement sessions window is December 14th through January 22nd. Community budget forums should be held between February 3rd through February 24th. And you should expect for school community budget reviews to be held between February 11th and March 12th. Check with your child's school for meeting dates and times. You can also see a list of school-based meetings on the district's website. In addition to knowing when to expect the budget meetings to occur, I want to leave you with a few other key things to know. Know that each school's budget is really just a blueprint of the school's values, of what that school considers important. So be sure your voice is considered by staying engaged. Know that your school's budget should be aligned to the school performance plan, or the SPP, and should reflect the priorities of the school. So make sure you become familiar with your school's SPP so you can make well-informed recommendations. And last, remember as a parent, you can influence your school's budget. You can do this by being active in your school's organized parent group and by participating in the school family council or the school advisory group. Parents can bring crucial insights to help their schools make the best spending choices to support learning. You have a meaningful role to play in building powerful partnerships that support student and school improvement. To learn more about the budget process, you may go to City Schools website at baltimorecityschools.org /budget. There's a lot of helpful information and resources there to equip you with the knowledge you need to participate in this year's budget process. There are opportunities to participate in district budget meetings, and again, you can see a list of all the school-based meeting dates and times. For more information on your school-based meetings, please contact the school's principal. Thank you for your time today, and remember, your engagement helps strengthen and improve our schools and our children's futures. Please feel free to email any questions you might have regarding the information shared to engagement@bcps.k12.md.us. Thanks again.